Hello, Virgo. Uh, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to your channel, Virgo. So, okay, Virgo, not in a scary way, in a quiet way. Just stop moving, stop scrolling, stop thinking about the next thing, because there is something I need to tell you, and it's important. Not urgent in the way the world means urgent, not a warning, not a threat, but important in the way your soul understands. So take a breath with me, just one. Mmm. Here's what came through. You have something in your body, not a sickness, not something wrong, something else, something that has been sitting there, waiting, growing, not in a bad way, in a way that only you can feel and no one else has noticed it. Not because they don't care, because it's yours, it's private. It's the kind of thing that lives under the surface. But lately, you've been feeling it more, haven't you? That tightness in your chest that isn't anxiety, that warmth in your stomach that isn't hunger, that pull in your throat when you want to speak but don't, that heaviness in your hands like they want to create something but haven't been given permission. I'm not a doctor. Let me be very clear about that. I'm not looking at your body with physical eyes. I'm reading energy, and the energy is saying there is something inside you that is ready to come out. Not a baby, not a tumor, not anything medical, a truth, a knowing, a piece of you that you buried a long time ago, and it's been living in your body ever since, waiting. Let me explain what I mean. When you go through something painful, um, when you swallow your words, when you pretend to be okay, when you're not, your body keeps the score. It remembers, it holds on to what your mind tried to forget. And over time, that holding, it becomes a feeling, a sensation, something you can't name but you can't ignore. That's what I'm picking up on. You have something in your body and it's time to pay attention to it, not because something bad will happen if you don't, because something beautiful might happen if you do. So let's sit with that. Close your eyes if you can, just for a few seconds. Where do you feel something right now? Not pain, not in a scary way, just sensation. A place in your body that feels different than the rest. Maybe your chest, maybe your throat, maybe your belly, maybe your hands. That's where it lives. That's where something has been waiting. And you came here today, you clicked on this video because somewhere inside you, you know, you know something is there. You just haven't had the words for it. So let me give you some words. Not the right words, not the only words, just possibilities. What's inside you might be grief. Grief you never fully cried. Grief from years ago. Grief that became a knot in your stomach and never untied itself. What's inside you might be anger. Anger you weren't allowed to express. Anger at someone who hurt you. Anger at yourself for staying quiet. Anger that turned into tension in your jaw or your shoulders. What's inside you might be longing. Longing for something you can't name. A life you almost lived. A love you almost had. A version of yourself that got left behind somewhere. What's inside you might be power. Power you've been afraid to use. Power that feels too big for your body. Power that makes you uncomfortable because you don't know what to do with it. I don't know which one it is for you, but you do, deep down, you know. And that's why this video found you. Not because I'm special, not because I have answers you don't, because you were ready to look. And sometimes the first step to looking is someone else saying, there's something there. So here I am saying it. There's something in your body. And it's not here to hurt you, it's here to wake you up. Let me tell you a story, not a real story, a feeling story. Imagine a river. For years, this river has been flowing the same way, same path, same speed, same sounds. But underneath the surface, something has been building. A rock shifted, a log got stuck. The current changed in a way no one can see from above. And then one day, the river doesn't look different. It sounds the same. It smells the same. But something underneath is different. That's you. You look the same on the outside. You laugh. You work. You talk to people. No one would guess that anything has changed. But underneath, something has shifted. Something in your body is different. And you've been feeling it. That little flutter, that subtle heat, that strange calm in the middle of chaos. That's the something. It's been there for a while, and it's getting louder. Not in a noisy way, in a persistent way, like a whisper that repeats itself until you finally turn your head. So let me ask you something. Have you noticed your body talking to you more lately? Not in words, in feelings. A headache that doesn't have a cause. A dream that felt too real. A sudden urge to cry over nothing. A wave of exhaustion that comes out of nowhere. That's the something, trying to get your attention. And most people, when they feel that, they push it away. They take a pill. They distract themselves. They say, I'm fine, and keep moving. But you're different. You clicked on a video called You Have Something in Your Body. That means you're willing to look. And looking, that's the bravest thing. So let's look together. What is this something? I can't tell you exactly. I'm not inside you. But I can tell you what the energy feels like. The energy around you right now is tender, like a bruise that's almost healed. Still sensitive, but not as painful as before. The energy is also awake, like something that was sleeping has opened its eyes, and the energy is curious. Like your body wants to know if you're finally ready to listen. Here's what I think. I think this something in your body, it's not new. It's old. It's been there for months, maybe years, but you've been too busy to notice, too loud to hear it, too scared to name it. And now you're not as busy, not as loud, not as scared. So you're finally feeling it. And that's good. That's not bad. That's not dangerous. That's healing. Because healing doesn't happen when you ignore your body. Healing happens when you finally turn toward the sensation and say, I see you. So I want you to try something with me. Not a meditation, not in a spiritual way, just a check-in. Wherever you are right now, sitting or lying down, just notice. Notice the place in your body that feels different. Don't judge it. Don't try to change it. Don't name it as good or bad. Just notice. Now, breathe into that place. Not deeply, not forcefully, just Send a little air in that direction and notice what happens. Does it soften? Does it tighten? Does it tingle? Does it stay the same? No right answer, just noticing. That's all. You don't have to fix anything today. You don't have to understand everything today. You just have to be willing to feel it. Because that something in your body, it's not your enemy. It's your messenger. And messengers don't go away until they've been heard. So let me tell you what happens when you start listening. When you finally pay attention to that knot in your stomach, it might start to loosen. When you finally breathe into that tightness in your chest, it might start to open. And when you finally stop running from that heaviness in your throat, you might finally say what you've been holding back for years. And that changes everything. Not overnight, not because magic, because you stopped fighting yourself. And that's the deepest kind of healing there is. Now, I need to be really careful here because some people, when they hear something in your body, they get scared. They think I'm talking about illness. I'm not. I'm not a doctor. I don't see physical disease. I don't diagnose. I don't predict health outcomes. That's not what this is. This is about energy. This is about emotion. This is about the invisible weight you've been carrying in your bones. And if you are worried about your physical health, please go see a doctor. That's not what I do. What I do is remind you that your body speaks and you've been ignoring it, and it's time to listen. Not because something terrible will happen if you don't, because something wonderful might happen if you do. Let me give you an example. I've seen people carry something in their chest for years, a tightness, a pressure, a feeling like they can't take a full breath. They thought it was anxiety or stress or just how they were built. And then one day they finally sat with it. They didn't run. They didn't distract. They just sat. And they asked, "What are you?" And the answer came, not in words, in memories. They remembered a time they weren't allowed to speak, a time they had to be small, a time they swallowed their truth to keep someone else comfortable. And when they remembered, the tightness started to move. Not disappear overnight, but shift, like it had been waiting all that time to be acknowledged. That's what I mean. That's the something in your body. It's not here to punish you. It's here to show you where you haven't healed yet. And that's a gift, a painful gift, but a gift. So let me ask you again, not out loud, in your own quiet, where do you feel something right now? What is it asking you to remember? What is it asking you to release? What is it asking you to say? You don't have to answer me. You don't have to comment. You don't have to do anything but sit with the question, because the question is the beginning. And you came here today because somewhere inside you, you're ready for the beginning. Let me tell you something else. This something in your body, it's connected to something outside your body. A person, a situation, a memory, a choice you didn't make. The energy is linked when you feel that tightness. It's not random. It's responding to something in your life. Maybe someone who hurt you, maybe a job that drains you, maybe a pattern you can't break, maybe a truth you haven't told. Your body is not confused. Your body knows. And when you ignore the feeling, you ignore the knowing. But when you feel the feeling, really feel it, um, you start to see clearly. You see who needs boundaries. You see what needs to change. You see where you've been lying to yourself. That's why the body is so powerful. It doesn't lie. Your mind can lie. Your mind can make excuses. Your mind can pretend everything is fine. But your body tells the truth. And the truth is, something has been living inside you. And it's time to listen. Not because I said so, because you can feel it. That's why you're still watching. That's why you didn't scroll away, because something in you recognized something in my words, and that recognition, that's your body saying, yes, finally, someone is talking about it. So here's what I want you to do after this video ends. Not a big task, not a heavy assignment, just a small one. Put your hand on the place where you feel something, just rest it there. Not pressing, not rubbing, just resting. And say this to yourself quietly, out loud if you can. I feel you. I'm not afraid of you. I'm ready to listen. That's all. You don't have to understand everything today. You don't have to fix everything today. You just have to be willing. And if you do that, if you really do that, something might shift. Not because magic, because attention. Because when you give something your attention, it changes. That's true for plants, for relationships, for the feelings living in your body. They change when you finally see them. I want to leave you with this. You are not broken. You are not sick. You are not damaged. You are a person who has been carrying something alone for too long. And that something, it's ready to be held. Not by me, not by anyone else, by you. So be gentle with yourself tonight. Be slow, be curious, and remember, your body is not your enemy. Your body is the most honest friend you'll ever have. And it's been trying to tell you something. Now you're finally listening. I'm grateful you're here. Truly. I'll see you in the next one.